Hi there, I'm coming to you with another episode of All Things Altered, sponsored by Creating in the Waiting. And basically the mission is to alter one thing a week, hopefully on a Monday. Post that, share that, like that, and go check out what other people have altered and just be inspired. So last week, if you remember, I took a tissue box and I made this folio. And that's how it goes. Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here. And then when you fold it up, also pocket on the back. So when I was done that, I had some leftover pieces I used in a couple other projects. I really wanted to see how much I could use from the whole box. And I put out a challenge. I wonder how much of the whole box you could use in a project. And I said, well, let me save the pieces and let me see what else I can make and see if I can keep this party going for a while. So I'm going to put this one aside. I have another idea for it. It's a big piece. Actually, two things could become of that. And I'm going to do an altered playing card with my pieces that were left over from my make. So I still have one of these flaps. I have some wallpaper. This is the piece I'll be altering. And then keeping in mind that a lot of this is upcycle and renew, I want to use pieces that I didn't use before, pieces I got from other people and haven't had a chance to use, other pieces that came from basically junk. This is junk journal. This is like an Earth Day type of project. Continue to renew, upcycle, and things like that. So the tags off of the tabs, the smaller tabs off of the tissue box. So that's it. So I'm going to alter this guy. I'm going to use these things, hopefully some of these other things. And if you want to see how I do it, come along for the ride. All right, I am back. It is my hope that I can do this one continuous and this will be a talkie, but let's see how it turns out. First things first, that is my playing card. That's my back and that's my front, or that's my front and that's my back, however you want to look at it. I'm just going to take some glue right in here. And I want this to be completely covered. So I'm going to take my little card here. And I'm going to maybe push it down here on the edge. So I really don't want any of that red showing. And then I'll put some glue over here. Take one of these pieces of bubble dye paper that I also used in the folio. I'm going to take a brush here just to spread some of this out. I really don't want to be glue happy, and that's another thing I've been trying to teach myself, especially on these pieces where I'm using paper that has already been through the ringer, so to speak, and it's already been dyed and watered and washed. Now I'm adding more glue to it. All right, let me just spread out this glue too. All right, so we need something for that. I thought it would be cute if we had some sort of tab and some sort of saying. I found this guy when I tried a bubbly or a bubbly, whatever you want to call it. And I thought he would be cute as either a side tab or a top tab. And I'm really debating. And then I thought, would this be cuter sideways or would it be cuter straight on? And a lot of people do tabs to this side, not to that side. I don't know if everybody, because everybody's right-handed but me, or what. So what if we want to put that there? We'll still need something to cover that up. So I was originally going to use these wide tabs, but since I'm not, maybe we could get either the flower or the sentiment. The flower might be too big, and we already have a little bit of bulk in the tab. And then I also have some stamps. That might look good. But that's going to be a bulky monkey, so he might just have to be in the top and not there. And then I can always cover over the inside of his circle with a button. One that goes inside. That was perfect, actually. All right, so we'll do that. We might get some thread or something like that to make it a little fancier. All right, so that's definitely going to be on the top. So let's hold that aside. We need something nice to cover over here. I have some of these flowers that could be good camouflage here. We have a lot of red there that I definitely want to cover up. Maybe one of these guys. I don't know, is a sentiment and some words, is that too much on this side? I had some ideas before I started, I swear. Let me think and I'll be right back. All right, I did not figure it out yet, so I just want to go with the flow. I'm just going to start gluing and see where it takes me. So I'm going to take this tiny wallpaper scrap that's very haphazard. It's also a very hot day here, so I don't really have much time between gluing and sticking. It's usually kind of cool here and things don't want to dry, and then I don't have that luxury today at all. So there's that piece of wallpaper. Now this wallpaper is really thirsty. I may have to go back in and glue a little more in a bit, but that's okay. And then I found this little scrap from when I made my flower of this paper, and actually maybe I will run some green distress ink over it real quick. Gotta love inky hands. Just to give the sides kind of a pop. Not overdo it, because that one doesn't have an edge. We'll run some more glue down here. Right? And glue that piece down there. I like how that goes over that there. So we have a little bit of structure going there. And then again, this piece will be mostly for that, covered with that, but I still want to have something covering that piece. And I don't want to go too busy. I like crazy. I'm all about crazy. I think that would look super cute. It wouldn't really make the tab a functioning tab though. I mean, a tab is to pull, right? And that petal would be there. But I kind of like the way that looks. And then we could put maybe our sentiment down here. We can ink it with black, and then the sides. I can deal with that. I like that. All right. Well, it's kind of halfway sticking anyway. And if you were concerned about the red showing through, you know, you could either cut it, you could fray it, you could ink it, you can do a lot of things. And if you didn't want this to stick out so far, you could also do a half flower. I think we had it this. I wonder if I do this. No, definitely want that on the flower. All right, so let's put this guy down. All right. Oh, little wiggly. All right, and we have that guy down. I think for this tab, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, not the aliens from the dollar store, because I feel like this is metal and it really needs a... I'm still not settled on that. But it does look cute when the button's in it because it's on the center of the flower. All right, I'm back to it. I'm back to it. I like it. All right, so I'm going to put that here and then on here. And then I'm going to put this guy down here. Get rid of the glue hair. sure everything's pushed down real good. And then I'm going to take this cute little button and I'm going to push it in there. And the glue is not tacky yet, so let me just put a bunch more. I know this is mostly a fabric glue, but I know this will stick. I could also, you know, run some thread through this, and that would make it have another, like a sticky edge to go through, and that would also be like another adornment on it. But, you know, these altar playing cards, they don't have to be crazy. I've seen some, you know, outlandish ones. I've seen some not so outlandish ones. It's just up to you. Like, what is your vibe? What are you trying to do? Are you making this for someone? You know, how do they feel? Most of the times I don't know who's going to have it, so I like to keep it open-ended. I like the idea of people even creating with something that I've made and totally deconstruct this and rip it apart and then make something for themselves that they might like a little better. And I've done that before too, and there's no shame in that game. I'm just going to distress this a little because I feel like we have white, we have dark, we have off-white. I'm going to put my fingerprints on it. I know which way do we like to do that. I'm always like a diagonal sticker of words. I don't know if you have a style that you like to do or that you always do. This part I anticipate will go into the, oh look, I glued it down to the page. This part I anticipate to be stuck in a pocket, and this part, since it's not glued down, it can either stick out of the pocket or you could actually glue it down and put it in a pocket, but I want it to stick up and be kind of cool. So I want this piece to be down, otherwise maybe I would, I guess I still could. Maybe get some string or something and fuss with it and put it underneath it there. Hold on one second, let me go grab some. Okay, so I thought I was filming, and I was not. So here's where we're at now. I don't know what you missed. I tried to look at it and couldn't figure it out. So I glued the sentiment with the gauze that was dyed with the Distress ink, 2 different colors, black and this green. And then I inked around the edges, and then I inked the flower. And then on the back, I just glued another spare piece of wallpaper that I had from my original folio project. And I like that. But then when I did that, the flower petals stuck out like a sore thumb. Plus, I said they're, you know, they're kind of light. They're not paper. They're not cardstock. They're something. They're something. But they're not quite strong enough. So, and I don't like the pure white sticking out, even though it's going to be in a pocket. So I'm going to bring in this green metallic paint that I used on the folio, and I'm just going to take a brush. Let me grab my napkin here for a second. I'm going to take a brush and I'm just going to paint them. The paint will help them sturdy up a little bit, but that may or may not be enough. This would have been way easier if I did it first, but I didn't even think of that. I'm like, oh, that's great. Look at how it shoots up. I like excitement in a piece. I really like movement in a piece. I love functional pieces. I don't like pieces that just are. I like pieces that do something. None of these pieces do something, but I hope they make you happy, and that's something. So let me get this paint on here. And that's nice and all, but I definitely want to do something a little more. So I hope you didn't miss me gluing on that little wallpaper paste on the back and the sentiment on the front. But I talked about it long enough. I'm quite sure that, you know, ooh, that's a lot of paint. That's okay. We can do 2 coats, and I will pause and dry in between. Just to see. I'm trying not to slop it too much over to the front as well. I don't know if I want to carry it over to the front at this point. All right, so let me hit pause, which is good because then I know that I'm recording if the pause button is there for me to hit. I'm going to go back over this. Make it a little thicker. And I like how the metallic kind of gives it a shimmer, and the brush makes the strokes. It kind of really make me feel like it's a flower petal. I don't know if that's coming across on the video or not. All right, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to dry this and I will be right back. All right, we are dry. I removed my napkin and now we are a little bit stronger, and we curled a little because there was some bit of a moisture in the paint. Acrylic paints are typically water-based paint. We do have a little run over here, so I'm wondering if I want to do some artistic painting of the outside of the petals here too, since we don't have any on the front, and I still want to do something to cover that. So let me just take this and let me see if I can get a fine little paintbrush here. I said I would have made this a lot easier on myself had I done this first. But it led me in a direction where I didn't know that I would be otherwise. So isn't that all about what crafting on the fly is? You can take your piece anywhere you want to take it. I definitely need more. This acrylic paint is definitely not my paint of choice. It is so incredibly thick. Most of the other ones, like your Apple Barrel or other brands you may get from, you know, your big box stores or even online on Amazon, they're not like this. I mean, if you like a thick paint, that's fine, but I find it a little bit harder to work with than my other paint. And the coverage on the metallic paints, the coverage is sheer anyway. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, opt for a more expensive paint because they think that it's going to have better coverage. And in some cases it does, but definitely not in all the cases. All right, I'm just going to go inside a little bit to give it a little bit of a, I don't know, middle, so to speak. Definitely didn't come here for a painting class. I'm just happy I have steady hands today. Again, the thought with every piece is to really have something that would bring someone joy. Coming from the rock painting world, it would be giving someone joy if they found it, or if I swapped with them my art for their art. And so I try to do the same in the junk journal world. You don't always have a place where you can drop a piece of paper art to bring someone joy. If you've heard of that, let me know, because I'd love to do it. Creating for me is fun, but creating for someone, it just really makes my day. Having someone love one of my pieces or want them, it kind of chronicles my growth as I try different types of art. And, you know, that's one of the fun things about junk journaling, being new. You know, I'll pull in things from my life experiences, my trash, my what I have around, and that makes a totally different piece than someone, even if they were given the same exact thing. So grab your tissue box, grab what you have around, grab some upcycle stuff, and how would you make this? You know, and it would definitely not be the same. I myself, I don't even buy Buble water, but I was at my, is it bubbly or Buble? I don't even buy that water, but I was at my in-laws and that's what they had to drink. And I said, I'm going to give that a try. And when this little thing said, oh, hi, on the tab, it just made me chuckle. And I said, I know exactly what I'm going to do with that. And then I made sure I drank 2 so that I would be able to use it twice. And I knew it was going to be a tab. I didn't know if it was going to be a closure or what, but anywho, I didn't mean to blabber the whole time and keep this running, but, you know, I'm experimenting with different types of videos to see which ones, you know, are more viewed or which ones are more interactive. It would make my day if it inspired you to create anything. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be You know, that's all part of what this collab is about too. It's just, you know, getting out there and doing something. If it's once a week. And I know that there's a lot of other groups out there that do a lot of other things as well. And there's commitments. So, you know, no one says you have to do it every week. But if you find something that you want to do, if you find something that you want to alter, well, let's all get together on Mondays and let's alter it and show each other what we did. So, all right. I am no Picasso. My inclination is to keep wanting to feather this out, especially with the metallic paints. I want to give it that bloom center kind of deal. So, all right, there are my petals on that side. I feel better about me. I was trying so hard not to slop it on this side, but you know what? I like that. It adds definitely something to it. So let me dry this and then I'll be back. All right, we are mostly dry, so I am back. I do like how that turned out. I like that different. I'm doing like 50 shades of green here. Kermit would be so proud. So I do like how that looks there. I know I need to do some more inking. And I need to solve for this. This isn't so bad. It might not bother some people, but it kind of bothers me. I don't know if I want to do another button. I feel like if I go down this route and do a button, then I'm going to want to do this whole elaborate thing on the back, and I didn't want to add a lot of chunk. Again, these are really cool, but these have a white back, so I definitely, at any time I add one of these, it's either going to white on one side or the other. It actually doesn't look bad. You can tell that it's an upcycle. A silver pop is not a bad thing. Let me just, I think I'm going to call it a day and leave it here. Let me ink just a little bit more maybe. I'm kind of liking, let me see what I can do with this green. That's not green, that's red. That's what happens when you don't put things back right. There's green, okay. And I have this little thing off to the side. It's quite the mess. Every time I dab my color, I dab it on there to see what I'm going to get before I put it on my piece. Now I just threw it on the floor. Kind of helps me save some headaches and heartaches from there. I do really like to ink. Let me ink this back. Just again, there really isn't much white in the piece. The white that is here is kind of off-white, so just some of that. So, yep, I'm going to call that a day. I'll do some pictures of it and put it up, but I hope you enjoyed this more talky. I do like silent and slow as well, but that is our piece for now, and I hope you have a great day and create. And please, if you want to, feel free to join the open collab again with Creating in the Waiting every Monday for all things altered. Have a great day. Bye.